Funding wallets on TapTapSend. Step 1. Click on Create Ghana Cedi Wallets below when you open the app. Step 2. Enter amount of your choice in Ghana Cedis. Step 3. Click on the Confirm and Fund wallet below to confirm. Step 4. Your wallet has been successfully funded. Step 5. Enter amount of your choice in Ghana Cedis. Step 6. Select or add new recipient. Step 7. Choose wallet as payment method. Step 8. Click on the Pay with Wallet below to confirm. Step 9. Your transaction is successful.
Living in Ghana, abroad, a first-timer visiting Ghana, or a company wondering where to get quality service providers in Ghana for any job? Then Ejumapa On Demand Services is here to assist you. Ejumapa On Demand Services connect requesters and service providers such as masons, plumbers, electricians, auto repairers, home and office cleaners, trash collectors, rent agents, spa attendants, roofers, beauticians, teachers, CCTV installers, and all artisans on one platform. Yes, one platform. Trust Ejumapa On Demand Services to sort you out any day, anywhere, and at any time. To download the app, please visit the App Store and Play Store or visit our website www.ejumapa.com.
She has a plan, a secret mission filled by gratitude and affection. She chooses her mother's favorite breakfast. Delight Foods, House Sakoko, a harmonious blend of flavors crafted with care and devotion. The taste of tradition and comfort. In that moment, their connection deepens, a bond strengthened by a shared experience. Delight Foods, House Okoko, a delicious breakfast made with care and love in just 2.
This Airbnb in Dansoman Estate, Accra, is only $40 a day and offers all the amenities for a comfortable stay. It is also conveniently located 30 minutes away from the airport. We also have 1 and 2 bedroom apartments for long-term rental at English Heat, Amamprum, 15 minutes to the Wege Toll Booth and the West Hills Mall, going for 1,500 and 1,000 Ghana cedis only. Call Parry Group on 053-866-3532, 053-866-3532. This is Parry Group of Companies.
About SVTV Africa. So any Friday, thank God it's Friday. You say Fridays be a many lawyer wisdom Macau Wiseman solicitors Beziwo UK. Na last week in me program, but this week you're on. Ya late kakramu fanche na a very important topic about between and UK in common eba bedi inti wa UK and now wa planning to be UK no. Our program will be a bebo pa. Why overstay na Mr. Sade, latest news update free home office. Okay, so many lawyer wisdom Macau. Man, we are some about out no lawyer wisdom Macau can send me brave. I can't say man we are being for me so obi obeka no a prophet one there. Okay, send me brave. One much as I interview some make many lawyer wisdom Macau. Yeah, they Mr. Sade asemba. Okay, bibi. Na finally no then they see sound say ya. And you better be our say na and then I go straight to me lawyer wisdom Macau so Wiseman solicitors na yen touch papa share link no ma unu bi catch unu bi so join yen mo UK wa plan so be ko UK na tie wo question so abesa obisa na obetime bisa no fabra comment section or time ni do I better screen so be kan ni nyina na wa yi wa no ti why overstay na we overstay options bi wo ho ti say Mr. Sade die watene mu ache obisa no de na BBI okay. But a do time so person Ghana no home office for say hey oh uni inkrata, uni passport, qualify in some baby baby. Now I'm go straight down the lawyer wisdom account. Lawyer, akwa baboko there.
Adumo na unswe.
Mr. Uye pa wise man solicitors, champion man. Uye prophet ankasa. Or being full back up. Oh, that you get to say that.
Over with tea, I can say too much. DJ,
Oh, but so a champion man. Mekai say, meka omo share no bekai. Me no di nkomo Mr. Shadi asemi be say me no be a program wo ho na e di hu nkomo na wo kan bibi wo kai de wo kan. Wo kai bibi wo kai.
Oh,
Ana
yeah,
men kai o.
okay.
Men kai wana.
Carry me.
Oka bibi say.
Well, I need freeze you. And I ho na
me line okay omo share no mo kan bibi nche say me na me freeze am kan che me say me freeze and me hun say main position means switching from turbo intercooler and me go different engine because we cross 16 engines. Enti mo share no me na me freeze and say lawyer na freeze mo kan bibi nche me na me comment section quick me hu Salome Kwe congrats Salo so be worry na say wabeto bi Africana.
we had it.
Mon confirm mon confirm me delay bi wom kakra me nim say free me and say free lawyer wisdom ho say me hand because me won say bibia ya okay wa ba bia na I don't know say internet bi na delay but yanko straight lawyer na me kai say me no di nkomo no ka say based on Mr. Shadena sem no home office betimi apade no on betimi a consider no o kan asade no o say I say 50-50, but Osha home office betimi a consider no. Based on na semena truly no kasa no so you say latest news to be out in here. Enti and now ba bia enti o e. And then see Mr. Shade ni current news aba. I'm saying see ani aje.
Let us say DJ. Freezing if you walk, maybe had yet been freezing me just say when I will freeze it. Position yourself differently kakra me just say why.
Obi say it's clear. Obi say it's clear.
The two voice no but we picture not freeze it. My voice maybe but you are frozen.
Lawyer, I almost say lawyer is from lawyer because maybe be a democrat table intercooler ni jinemu. Until lawyer free ho, obi say free ho comment section is from the lawyer. As I was switching Concord play no.
I mean
Asna, also yes, DJ the network. Is it from me? Me picture na freezy. Lawyer, they tell me voice, but me picture na freezy. Lawyer, okay, but lawyer out there, me kind over to you. Time for include over to you.
What's that?
Over to you, Yanko. Over to you.
Mate, when I will freeze it and say.
Over to you, Yanko. Say, about Mr. Shadeni and the Makani Nanti over to you, NT. Latest news about.
What's the main idea?
Meteunka.
All right, thank you. Yo, it's here for you, Mobia. And I'm Mobia, and then so you sang about beautiful. Last weekend to Myanmar because we had other stuff to attend to. Yo, DJ, thank you so much. You are always up to date. You are always up to date. You are always on the ball, and it is very helpful because you keep us also on our toes, and we also keep checking and making sure that the is correct. Mikai pass Mr. Shade Casey. Yeah. We can as a Mr. Nelson Shade. You can some that now was now Studio B. And you can some say now Mr. Shade about UK in 1977 as a student. But now there was a coup in Ghana and he went to me and sign and go back. And he had been here for that is all these years. And now you can say that is about 46 years. That is getting close to 50 years. And in 2019, I think so, ni mami efi mu no, na okoye application for British passport set or Ghana akakosra ni mami. Or ni mami I understand. That is from what we understand. Uh, Mr. Shade, unfortunately, Home Office for a refuse an application because on yet a British citizen. And the Omukajan said that is yes, in 2019 he applied for passport so he could return to Ghana after the death of his mother, but he was told he was not a British citizen. And so he came in 1977, Wanko Ghana sa until 2019. Na ɔrekɔ ne maame yie no ɛna ɔyɛ pass application for British passport ɛna Home Office for kyerɛ no sɛ ɔnyɛ British citizen, so he could not go for the mother's funeral. That was as of 2019, and it became news everywhere. So Argentina want to me and I am man British passports no what's not hard check 46 years 47 years or so until you should get his stay to be you should have the right to be in the UK. And me to me say, and I'm explaining that British citizenship is a question of law. It's a question of law. Now, as long as Emrana Omudi Juma, which is the British Nationality Act of 1981, and just say, oh, you're British citizen at the time, no, our application, then he's not a British citizen. Because Sir Usha Section 1 of the British Nationality Act of 1981, Sir Uwo Krumha, not Sir Upapa, Yawo Krumha, no Papa, a British citizen, Yawo Krumha, and Papa Kwa, indefinite Wo Krumha, automatically, Rabbi, a British citizen. And Sir Yawo Wono, no Papa near Sitna. So under Section 1(3), Upapa near Sitna, and Omami near Sitna, but after Yawo no Omabenya indefinite leave, you are eligible to be registered as a British citizen under Section 1(3) of the British Nationality Act. And now, so we share Section 1(4), and which has said, Yawo Krum ha, Uba Penny Asitna, Uba Minsu any Asitna. Now, so what's not Krum ha for the first 10 years of your life? One called Ghana, and all to Kwakra, what's up, but within 90 days. You haven't stayed for more than 90 days in a particular year. Now, you are in the UK. Once you over to me, I application as a British citizen. And now you will come here. Now, what's now for the first 10 years of your life? What go outside the UK? Once, what's not UK for the first 10 years of your life? You are eligible or you are a British citizen automatically upon putting through the necessary documentations and you'll be issued with a British passport. That is after registration. But yet this scenario see it too, Mr. Shade Diahono. One, Nani Papa and your British citizen. Two, Nani Mami and your British citizen. Three, young woke Mr. Shade Ewo from her. Four, the Papa and settled at the time he was born. Five, the father was not in the military, in the UK military when he was born. So that wouldn't come under Section 1(2) of the British Nationality Act of 1981. So clearly, we share Mr. Shade is not a British citizen. So I explained this, that it's a question of law. It does not matter how long you've lived in this country. If you are not a British, you are not British until and unless you register or the laws permit you to become one, then you become so. To be kind, so said DJ Kano, because of the length of his residence, how long I went back from her, and the fact that they are prominent people. And the fact that one year award being put, I didn't even mention that, but 1 year award because he bravery award. Now he's trying to stop Obiana was trying to assault a delivery driver with a bat, and the police gave him an award because of some of these things. The Home Office, honestly, in 2007 he was given a police award for bravery after tackling a robber who was attacking a delivery man with a baseball bat. So Mr. Shade had a very good record. Based on an to kind said, his case is exceptional. The Home Office may grant him indefinite leave to remain And now, worst case scenario, you remember the 2.5 years, 2.5 years, 4 times, no, with me and indefinite leave to remain. Thankfully, the update I was saying is that from our understanding, the Home Office have considered Mr. Shade's case. And almost say, the Senyamika is an exceptional case. This is an exceptional case in light of the fact that Owanya Bravery Award in Po, that is, he looked after his community and he was a man who of good repute or reputation in the Home Office decided to give him not 2.5 years, 2.5 years, but almost straight indefinitely to remain in the UK. That is from what we understand, from what we have read. Said Mr. Shade has been permitted to remain in the UK for an indefinite period of time. That is, he has been given indefinite leave to remain in the UK, which is excellent news. But remember, sir, one man indefinite leave to remain, and yes, one man British citizenship. He's been granted indefinite, but not British citizenship. And it's a British citizenship, which is what he applied for in 2019. He has to wait for 1 year, then he can apply for British citizenship under Section 1, under Section 6, Schedule 1 2 of the British Nationality Act 1981. And he has to meet some requirements. First of all, he has to meet the English language requirements. But because of his age, I am sure he's gone past 65 years now. In that case, he does not have to write the English language test at level B1 if he's gone past 65 years, which I believe Mr. Shade has gone past. And also, the life in the UK, he does not also have to write the life in the UK test and the English language B1 once he goes past or he's gone past the 65 years threshold. So he has to meet that. That's number two. He has to meet the good character requirements. Obviously, I doubt if he has got any criminal record or anything of the sort. If he had any such record, I don't think the Home Office would even have given him the indefinite leave to remain. So I believe strongly said Mr. Shade has a very clean record and a man who is of a good repute. And to say time this one, he should be able to pass the good character requirement test as well. And then we have the residential requirement. And which they say you should be in the UK for the last 5 years before you get your citizenship. You should not have traveled for more than 90 days in a year. In Mr. Shade's case, he hasn't traveled out for all these years. So that residential requirement of 5 years of residence in the UK is also automatically satisfied. That shouldn't be a problem. And of course, the law requires that as a Saudi 1 year on top of your indefinite, that is, you are free from immigration control, 1 year on top of that, and sign a wetmia application for your British citizenship. So as it stands, thank God, Mr. Shadi has been granted his indefinite leave from what we are told. And I also believe that the Home Office didn't want to litigate because this is an exceptional case. And from our understanding, there was crowdfunding of up to £48,000 to support Mr. Shade's case, to fight his case. And Radias said Home Office didn't want to litigate, drag matters to court, back and forth, which I'm sure they would have lost anyway. They didn't want to go through all that stress and to just given Mr. Shade the indefinite leave to remain is an excellent, excellent, excellent result that helps all of us. So that is where we stand right now. He's been granted indefinitely from our understanding. He is eligible for citizenship after 1 year of being here from the date of being granted indefinite leave to remain. 1 year on top of that, he would be eligible for his British citizenship. He will meet the requirements under the English language because he's gone past 65. He will meet the requirements under life in the UK again if he's gone past 65. He will meet the requirements under the residential provision because he hasn't traveled out for the past 5 years. He's been here throughout. He will meet the requirements under the what do you call it? The other provisions in the UK, good character requirements. He also meets that, and therefore, on that basis, Mr. Shade should be able to get his British citizenship after 1 year to become a British, not with me at Tukwan Akwa Ghana. As we speak, of course, so Ninsaka ne indefinite leave to remain application now and a form now, he should be able, if he's gotten his card, he should be able to travel to Ghana without any difficulties. But I would advise him to get the e-visa done before he goes out. What you don't want is to go out and get stranded after all these years of struggle to be in the UK. You don't want to go out and then you struggle to come back to the UK. So, Mr. Shade, congratulations for having been granted indefinite leave to remain after all these years. Even though it's not the British citizenship you applied for, thankfully, yeah, the indefinite amount, which is a really, really good news. So that is for your information. Now that leads me to my topic. But before I go on to my main topic, near mechanism, sir, we obi utie yɛn a megye di sɛ you would have been well informed about the Rwanda policy. DJ, I just want to add the Rwanda policy to it before I go to the topic, if that is okay. DJ. Metimiko Rwanda policy nazo.
La autominga.
Metimiko, yes.
Aha, na mu let him new PM no cry na so buy and cry so touch so.
Yes, but say Mr. Shade.
Okay, Mr. Shade asem new PM buy ono de okono opposite way o. O say Rwanda no no atwam kra ma te say esi ano obema say nkofo 40,000 that oh amnesty ni ade nyina ono de o chenyi nyama bebre. Dia na mo former PM ni ye no no dia so for obi anko Rwanda bi mo nti anhwa omo Rwanda na omo back to UK.
Oh yes. Yes.
Enti over to you. My update be enti.
But your Prime Minister said, the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom said, the Rwanda policy is dead and buried. And yes, a dead people is dead and buried. Inti nya dia or no, what did nipa ba ko ever call Rwanda? And omo ye di omo akono, me gidi pass ye di omo back to the UK.
Enti lawyer sikana shiana.
See, and then crana me kai baby.
Sikana wudima Kagame na shiana.
That may can be very interesting. I have some property person who Jessica and Kagame who can say, when one can say who Jessica. That may very interesting article. We also say, yeah, most high and one can say, I didn't failure, whoever you was go, and it's a kind of one shot. Yeah, say, I feel I didn't hear Boba, and one shot kind of issue. And yeah, sure. Meaning hostel almost you, and down almost you. The idea of provisions for you. Prime Minister said is dead and buried. Media dead nuclear that is buried now. The account or see is buried. Just a idea or no deal be ever call. And the other process or see they are going to form a border security agency will come here. Now, they will arrest, they will pursue, arrest, and distort. Now, And Rana may say, how is this man going to do this? Now, DJ, practically, if this prime minister is determined to do it, he can do it. Example, share Israel and all these major countries. But to me, I monitor a suicide bomber and a terrorist. I'm saying, or car way at this point in time. No more drop it, drone, not a picking out just like that. So, which is what me pick you.
Yeah.
If the government is determined, they will use the same technology to be able to monitor the boats from where they are coming from. And then they will stop them at their shore. They will stop them at their gates, not say Ambadu Hansana. So if the same technology, the same policy, they are able to monitor Obi, that this is but boats now with the say boats are smaller than the car they are able to pick up.
Yeah.
So if they are determined, they can use the same. I was just thinking, if I was a minister, how would I address this problem? And this thoughts just started kind of that is something they can do. They don't have.
Ayana sa nyama we won. Media me madwin na me chiru but de me hu no. Omo betimi a stop it but omo allow. Omo ni madukunti omo ma sankofo no, omo jai sankofo no. It is a US we say omo borders omo ntimi close kura nka se mo bia nrem. Omo betimi close sili bibia. Omo betimi de border force for akogina or block obia mo bia nrem. Immigrants no boa kro no so kan.
Oh, India say idea that.
They know why. Omo ni made omo ye. Sankofo we no omo nka nkyere. Ba ebi wo ha na omo be tete ba omo nim adukunti a omo ja omo rem no. Say this year US do US kwa na omo to me do on say 2-3 days uni mo do provide address ni eja o. I don't know eja omo.
So when you do
They know. I say so they know say they can put measures now. Omo betimi stopping Kofo from coming. But they also know why omo fa some measures no omo tighten too much. Omo betimi aye.
In fact, last time would be Abraham na ye kasa. And I my example say one cleaning jobs e wo krom ha. Abrofo saying and sorry 4 a.m. 5 a.m. Ekoye cleaning jobs. Abrofo saying from office Davy. English Obroni. Say oh sorry 4 a.m. Ekoye cleaning. 2. Observe say how many nurses and the work room have foreigners. Observe say how many construction workers and abrofo and kasankasa construction workers. And the auditor to say we share this the dust man dust on the streets and the trash and obviously say how many white man, how many Brunei Englishman have I seen set or yes other. So yes, even though you see we don't want the immigration, the UK to be flooded with immigrants, etc., etc. Of course, immigrants also have a role that they play. And then to say policy reasons, strategically, never be or what. The sack of baby, then a normal gumukakra. So of course they can't open the floodgate for everybody to enter. You can just imagine what will happen. So of course they try to limit it, but truly they know the help, the support are immigrants. Eddie, Emma, Eko. In fact, all these countries they know how much the immigrants contribute. Picking of fruits, the what do you call it? The horticulture industry, picking fruits and tomatoes. How many English people go to do that? A proposal like picking fruits. Maybe foreigners here, they know. But of course, the rules are there to be enforced. They cannot just open the floodgate, open the doors for everybody to enter. So they have the business of controlling immigration. By all means, however, but it's also a duty for them to control immigration. So to say, if they intend seriously to control and prevent people from coming by the boats, the same idea making, they are able to use the same drones. They're able to monitor who is a terrorist and pick them in their car and bomb those people. The same way they are able to use the same technology to pinpoint the boats and then send people to send them away. Obisu can say upon thought say the same way our expatriates, our British High Commission workers in other countries, they can still have British border force officers stationed in those countries patrolling the ports so that as soon as there is any indication that on the port now, they can stop them. So yes, I hope that the Prime Minister would employ some of these policies or some of this technology in, of course, almost to pursue, to arrest, to distort, and to arrest. I hope they'll be able to do something of the sort if they have the political will. I know it's going to cost money, but if there's a political will to do it, not younger you woman.
Lawyer, what will be before I watch us? What will be? Say immigrants but no carry illegal drug dealings. Bones so much among tentem. Sankrofo no so yeah drugs near there. But among say about the Africans, a majority of us in the green pastors, be ye be adwuma pesika bibi edi anything ye ba ye comnet ye ho na atre any afa on ye ba be adwuma ye apart from that no ye ma say ye ba be ton money and ye ba be ye bibi e be ko against oman no me asasa me hwe USA no mo hwe e be of Ghana na mo ni say wo de wo be adwuma ye apeka crash ho anything na wo e comnet do anything na wo ba omunim sanyama wonya but wo de hwe omo a ohona biom omo into drugs that dem fancy so omo beti omo sisi a because on him say ma sankrofo no mfa we ma wo de fa say obi afancy so the drugs ni ade ba wo de share omo reaction omo beti sankrofo no sisi a so that means they know they means say they know what they are doing.
But international law also has to be complied with. So Nipana enter into your territory. There is only so much you can do. And see, even though you have the domestic rules, the international laws are also there. You have to comply with these laws. So all in all, the most important thing to me and to us is that Prime Minister say the Rwanda policy now, why Trump is dead and buried. And Tienga, you're seeking for asylum. And good news for us. At least, even if your application has not been processed, and I am now sitting at the quiet, when them said the burden or the thought of being sent to Rwanda and no it has been removed. Thanks to the Prime Minister. Say or say the Rwanda policy is not going to take effect. The say no, it's up to them to see how they can process Omwa Yo UK as to how they can process the application, the asylum seekers say Omo as it no. Say yeah, at least when them say you can go back to your country, not to Rwanda, a country that you have no affiliation with. When it ubia so any some honor. Rwanda. So beautifully, that is a package for all of us that Rwanda policy has been scrapped. And Omusika Semje, we don't know how they're going to take their money back. So we hope and pray that the Prime Minister will set up the right forces or the right departments so that they can process asylum seekers as quickly as possible. So that we'll be having an asset as soon as they ever. So DJ, that is interesting updates for us so that you get to me. Now, going back to Mr. Shadi and the fact that what Nakuma for 46 years or 47 years, 46, 47 years, a fair and son onya indefinite. And to the person make this opportunity, let me be said, and I can say, if you have lived in the UK as an overstayer, what options do you have? And now buy with a sitna. The same way Mr. Shade Ebaye, he came as a student. Wamba as an illegal immigrant, he came as a student. And Tiemu Binsu, we came as students. And now Obia Wotiemi, you came as a student. The question is, how do you stay in the UK legally without having to get into a situation where you become an illegal immigrant or you overstay your right to be here, now you find yourself in difficulties. Number one, so Obaye as a student, if you came as a student, then my point is, sir, one name, sir, one to me and go school now, then you quickly have to think of an option to regularize your stay. But yeah, sure, I'm school first. So, what to me school, no? Every year will cost now, maybe 1 year or 2 years of having completed your course. Then what you have to do is that, so we had 2 years now, and you pass the course fully and successfully with no receipts. What you have to do, and it's you must quickly apply for the tier 2 postgraduate visa and the graduate leave. Please apply for the tier 2 graduate visa. At the time we came, there was no such option. So it is a very good option now. Say, we will, of course, now apply for the tier 2 graduate visa route. No. So you have 2 years. Within that 2 years, what you can do is you have the option. Say, ubetumi switch ako a tier 2 worker route. So switch to a tier 2 worker route. So first of all, you finish your course, you've applied for the graduate route, 2 years. Within that 2 years, no, over to me our options. What options? Over to me for the skilled worker route. So either as a health and care worker, if you can get a sponsor, and as an IT worker, so over sponsor, and not even working in the hospitality industry, the hotels, etc., if they have the sponsorship license, or if you are able to switch into any other category that falls within the skilled worker route, so over to me, I'll switch alcohol. You would get your 5 years, either your 2 years as a skilled worker, or 3 years as a skilled worker, or your 5 years as a skilled worker. Now we get to chroma. Number two, sir, what you course no, na dear, at the time now was school, what shall Duffel be? Or a British citizen, and not or you'll be okra indefinite leave to remain. Possible, sir, in accordance with the rules, legally, with the application. Now you switch from whilst you were even a student to become a spouse or a partner, and now whilst you're on the skill on the tier 2 visa route, whilst you're on the graduate visa route, I'm sorry, 2 years graduate visa route, you can switch to become a partner. So once your genuine relationship is established, you can switch to that category. Now when you're 2.5 years to be here as a spouse or as a partner. After that 2.5 years, over to another 2.5 years, now a total of 5 years, then you go for your indefinite leave to remain. So that is that. So you started as a student, then to the graduate route, 2 years. From the graduate route, options, tier 2 worker, skilled worker, health and care, IT, hospitality industry, those who manufacture medical equipment, etc. If you are able to prove that you meet their requirements and they have the sponsorship license, then you are able to switch to that category. The next one is as a spouse, genuine relationship established, evidence can prove it, then and also with me switch it as a spouse for your leave to be here. And now you don't have a spouse, but when you be aware, when you be awo, you are a parent. Because you're a parent of a child that is a British citizen, you can also switch from your tier 2 skilled worker route or your graduate route, your graduate visa route, to become a parent of a child that is a British citizen. And also, Obenyawa Sitna, 2.5 years, and another 2.5 years, total of 5 years, you go for your indefinite leave to remain. At all times, I would encourage you, say, as a salary application, and sana will be some ebewu. In that case, you go straight to the 5 year route if all other conditions are satisfied, such as financial requirements or maintenance and or the English language requirements and accommodation are satisfied. You go straight to 5 years. So you don't go to 10 years before coming back to 5 years, but you go straight to the 5 year route. So you get 2.5 years under the 5 year route and another 2.5 years under the 5 year route, and you are able to then get your leave to be here in the UK. So that is for your information. So, student, graduate route, partner, parent, these are options available to you to become a person who can obviously lead you to indefinitely to remain in the UK without any difficulty. Anasa uyo bia wakrom hampo, and you have an affiliation with a church, and bia you are here as a minister of religion, or you've trained as a minister of religion. Na asore no ewo the sponsorship license. Also, let me sponsor, or you become a minister of religion, and also 5 years, either 2 years or 3 years or 5 years. And also when you are sitting at na ekrom. So that it is for those who are listening to me. Of course, sir, what's na hana ubisa ne wu kra. Uba ni went me uncle school no because the cannot any ho. Sikana anka ebia wo uncle promises so the go school fees no. Unfortunately, Sikana mind went me uncle school no. Now, ubisa no, what can you do to get your stay in the UK? Of course, I have mentioned some already, but I'll quickly go over a few. Sir, we are obi a waba krom ha na wo visa no ewu. With the visit visa and a buyer, and now the student visa and a buyer, and now the tier 2 deals and a buyer. Now when Juma, and now your employer's license has been revoked, and now your COS has been cancelled. Not unia sitla. The say you can say unia sitla crack. In that case, what can you do? One, Emrani Chese, Sawutna Kumha for 20 years, long residence. That is, you've been in the UK for 20 years. Wono, Uber to me, I did not, the fact that what now for 20 years, so now with your application to remain in the UK. You're more 2.5 years, 2.5 years, 2.5 years, another 2.5 years, a total of 10 years on top of the 20 years, then you can go for your indefinite leave to remain. That is for your side. 20 years. Now, say, one person over now for 20 years. Now, say, dear, some medical reason, serious life threatening medical condition. I mean, serious life threatening medical condition. Nasa, because of your medical condition, want to make and coffee and conquer the treatment for some medical condition. You are able to base your application on your medical condition with a letter from your consultant or your GP detailing your diagnosis, prognosis, how long you'll be on that treatment for, whether you are able to afford that treatment when you go back to your home country, whether that treatment is even available in that country at all. And even if it is, how much do the drugs cost? Because you aren't able to work, are you able to meet that cost? If not, then you can argue, say, and here say under Article 8, this is not an Article 3 case. Article 3 is a very high threshold, but under Article 8, because of your human rights, say every year you can apply for them to grant you leave to remain in the UK under Article 8. But you need a detailed report from your consultant that will help you in obviously applying for your leave to be here under your Article 8 right medical condition. So that is that. And now you have overstayed. You have no medical condition. You don't want to stay for 20 years, or you haven't been here for 20 years, you have no medical condition, you are very strong, able bodied. Now, so again, I take it back. You have a partner. If you have a spouse, what worry? Nasa abofrabia nimwa. It's no child. Then you have to go back to your country and apply from your country to come back. Go back to your country, apply from your country to come back to the UK. But that is always left to the individual to make a decision because the UPN went me back. Think about that. And say a possible say wobɛpɛ kwan foforɔ bi a ɛyɛ legal so ɛde atena kurom ha deɛ ɛyɛ wase now. I would advise say that is an option rather than say you take the risk to go out and you may not be able to come back because the Home Office can always say you have frustrated the intentions of you've made so many applications, you've tried to contrive the intentions of the immigration rules, and to the extent that they can refuse your application, even though probably you've stayed outside beyond the time of exclusion or when you are supposed to be out for that period, you've stayed out there. It is also possible the Home Office can still refuse your application under Part 9 of the immigration rules. So going out, you have to consider it very well before you make that decision. So, Sausha will be Oba and Obama, Namuti Krumha, Nasa Abufrabia, and no child involved. Then you have to, no child and no medical condition. They have to go out, apply to come back in. But if you have no child, biological child, Nasa, the partner now no Krumha, what's in it adopted Abufra, Abufani a British citizen. Wa worry Obana and Obama no. What's what by Abufrana, ne mame, and ne papa. On that basis, you are able to apply based on Uba. I bet you send your one Kasa Ubano. You are able to apply based on Ubano, not also Udianya Asitna. So that is when there is no biological child and the partner who is settled here gets or adopts a child, you are then able to apply through that child and your partner to remain in the UK. But where you also have your own child, or let me look at the other one first. Where you have to, where you married to a woman, what worry obey or buy one neighbor, and your woba, but or buy neighbor. Now what by your step dad, who didn't go school, and now GP, if they are not of school going age, you are involved in the child's life. The child's welfare, well-being, upbringing concerns you. If that happens, then you're married to the child's mom or you are the child's mom's partner, as defined under Section 1, 2 of the under Part GEN 1.2, under GEN 1.2 of the immigration rules, as defined who a partner is. Once you make that section, in terms of either you're married to the person or you are a fiancé or a fiancé, then of course you are able to again base your application on that provision, not what you may anya pasikna ewo ekromha. So that is also another option. Either say wo waware obey or ba ana abufra nye wo ba but oyo ba ne eba ana wo ọba na adọpti abofra ẹno nso betumi gyina so anaasɛ wanware abofra yi maame nanso wo ne ne wɔ ba. In that case wo no wobɛfa wo ba ne so ɛnyɛ ne maame pɛ sɛ but wo ba no a wawo no no wobɛfa wo ba ne so, and that application can be made under Appendix FM Section LTRPT. Because of the child, you are the parent to that child, and you are able to make that application based on your child and you stay in the UK. So generally, even with a charity visa, not a visa everywhere, but you are in a relationship with a person who has a child. Again, you can base your application on the child and the other parent. You can also get your leave to be here in the UK. Or if you came here as a domestic worker in a private household, not for whatever reason, wouldn't your sponsor, you aren't working anymore. Now you are unable to renew your visa or your leave, again, in that sense, you would again be able to apply to remain here if any of the conditions are marked above apply. That is, you have a child, or you have a stepchild, or there's a medical condition, or you stay there for such a long period of 20 years. Again, you are able to apply in that category. So that is that. And now for from her, ebia wo kunu ɛwɔ ba ɛwɔ Ghana, ne ba no yɛ British citizen, anaa ne ba no ɔwo no na papa no kura indefinite, abofra no yɛbɛyɛ application ama abofra no ɛwɔ aba kurom ha with indefinite leave to remain. Sɛ ba saa, again under program 297 of the immigration rules, we are able to apply for abofra no to come to the UK with indefinite leave to remain. Sɛ abofra no ba with indefinite leave a, wo a waware papa no anaa maame no, based on mobile or indefinite no also obenya wasitna now etna ekrom ha. So this is one of the options, or these are some of the options that ubet to me ejina so na udenya asitna. Now of course, so ubano 87 years old krom ha, you can apply for the child's indefinite leave to remain. Now we are father and a mother no we fa ubano so na udenya wasitna. And now valid the 10 years. What would Okroma know the 10 years section 1.4, what for the so as a British citizen child, as a British child, what for the so where I apply at it now also what na Kroma. And now for Ubano a EU national. And now ni mami a EU national. I will find indefinitely to remain. On that basis, you are again able to apply for your leave to remain based on a child that is an EU national or a family member of an EU national that has settlement to be in the UK. Only settlement in poor, not okra pre-settled status in poor. We are able to apply for leave to remain outside of the rules because you are involved in the child's life or the children's life. And also, we are able to make application for. So, DJ, I'll leave it here and take some questions if there is anything to answer, because I have just up to 8 o'clock and then I go on to another program. DJ, thank you. There are a few other things to talk about, but I think I'll leave it at this. Hello, Bush Doctor. Hi. My friend is an overstayer and failed on several attempts to get an EU settlement on his marriage. Can he seek for asylum based on a change on his sexual orientation and his family are not happy? Well, of course, if there is truly and genuinely a change in a person's sexual orientation, and let's say he is into that practice per se, and he can prove it, asylum claim can be straightforward, but the evidence to prove it is very essential. You have to evidence the fact that Nyawokano Eye Ampa. So if there's a sexual orientation, maybe there's a gender identification or gender switch. Maybe you said you were straight and now you say you are not straight. That is a ground. As long as you can prove that what you were saying is what it is, then yes, you can seek for asylum in the sense that Sausanko Ukrumbaka, your life will be at risk, particularly because of probably a bill in parliament that has been signed or some laws that are in effect which can affect your right to be in the UK. I am speaking as a lawyer, so that is what I would say. Yes, you can. Na Akushika Lamte. Hello. Please, can an overstayer switch to a seasonal worker visa? Unfortunately, you cannot switch. The only time that you could have switched would have been if you were here legally on a visa which is not a visit visa. If you're on a visit visa, you can't switch. If your visa is expired, you cannot switch. So, in this case, what may be available is, should this individual have a child or a partner who has a child, then of course the law allows that as long as there's a genuine relationship between you and your partner, you and your child, under Appendix FM again, section LTRP, or under Appendix FM section LTRPT, with or in conjunction with Appendix EX1 or EX2, with reference to the case laws of RASGA, the case of MK India, and all the other case laws that support your application. You can apply to stay in the UK, but not to switch to a seasonal worker because you have overstayed. You cannot. You cannot switch to a seasonal worker. My brother has married an EU lady, and the lady filed for him after some time Home Office request for interview. But after the interview, almost 3 weeks now, no feedback from them. Well, after the interview, the interviewer would have to go back and put their notes together so that if you want it transcribed, they can send it to you. 3 weeks is normal. So I would say if it goes beyond the 3 weeks, then of course, please, you can write to the Home Office or call the Home Office on their line. I don't have it offhand, but I can provide it to you later. And on that basis, you can ask them, well, we had our interview on XYZ day, but up to date, I haven't had the decision. Can you please update me? They will let you know what is actually going on. So we have to follow up after 3 weeks for the update of the decision. Thank you. The Christ logic. DJ and myself, thank you. My issue with the system is that it seems to pamper those that come in through the waters than those who genuinely seek their character but lose their character afterwards, but already in. Well, I understand you perfectly, my brother. I understand you perfectly, either my brother or my sister, but whoever sent this message, thank you. I really understand you. Sometimes you don't understand how the law works. People who come through the over the waters, through the boats, or with the boats, come to seek asylum, are given consideration, are considered. Their cases are processed. They are housed in different places. They are looked after. Whereas Obia, oh yeah, beginning this application, Eddie Abano, or no, na na certainly we will pay. Now it becomes a difficulty. Well, that is the law. Different rules apply to different scenarios. So if you came as an asylum seeker, you'll be treated as such. The provisions under the rules for asylum seekers will be applied to you. If you came as a student, you are expected to complete as a student. And if you overstayed, it means that you fall into a different category. So they cannot use the asylum rules to treat or to handle your case as a student who didn't attend. Or if you came as a visitor and you did not attend, so you did not return, I'm sorry, you can't be considered as an asylum seeker because when you are coming, ukai say uba sign ako. So you have to identify what category are you falling in, and then you make an application under that. So person Babet now, the application number as a spouse. So person Babet could school uba could school no. That is what the law requires. So person uba as a visitor uba sanko. That is what it says. So different options, different categories, different requirements. So yes, sometimes it's difficult to say yeah, by genuinely we have overstayed. We've been more back with the boat. They are being given more attention than us. Unfortunately, the law treats everybody based on the circumstances under which they fall. So if you want to seek asylum, seek asylum. If you come as a spouse, follow that lane. If you came as a visitor, you follow that lane. Can any of the different types of marriage certificates recognized in Ghana be done with an option of proxy? Yes, We in Ghana, I think we have three types of marriages, if I am right. Three. The Muslims, our brothers, our fellow citizens who are the Muslims, they have their own system. And then we have the ordinance. The ordinance is the one you go to either the registry to do it, or you go to the church and the church issues the marriage certificate if the church is registered to issue the marriage certificate. That is the ordinance in the register office or in the church or in or the designated offices where it is done. The third one is the customary marriage. Oh, I should even put the customary marriage first. Customary marriage is marriage between two families. Ɔbaa n'abusuafoɔ ɛna ɔbarima n'abusuafoɔ. It is not a marriage between two individuals. It is ɔbaa no pɛ ɔbarima no te sɛ bibi mpo. Na sɛ n'abusuafoɔ sɛ yɛ mpene a, saa awareɛ no wontumi nware. Sɛ ɔbarima no dɔ ɔbaa no te sɛ biribi, na sɛ abusuafoɔ no sɛ yɛ mpene so a, that marriage cannot hold. So, customary marriage is a marriage between two families. Ɔbaa family, ɔbaa n'abusuafoɔ ne ɔbarima n'abusuafoɔ. These two families ɛna ɛbɛba abɛbom na wɔn agye nsa, na wɔn abɔ mpaeɛ, ɛsɛ ampa yɛbaa kos ɛne yɛbaa bɛrima kwaku te sɛ deɛ wɔware. Ɛno no wobɛtumi ayɛ sɛ ɔbaa no ɛne ɔbarima no ɛnni Ghana hɔ mpo a, ɛno wobɛtumi ayɛ as long as the families can conduct and contract the relationship on your behalf. I'm using the word contract cautiously. What I mean is they represent you and then they do all that they have to do legally in your place. That marriage is okay. So Obama UK, the man can be in Germany, the woman can be in America, but the families can meet in Ghana and have that marriage done on their behalf. The man can be in the UK, the woman can be in Japan, the families can do that on their behalf. It's a genuine marriage. And that is what sometimes we call proxy marriage. Proxy, which means you, the individuals, anyhow, but Ebusiafo stood in to represent you. And then the friend of proxy marriage. But technically, it's not proxy because it's a marriage between the families. So as long as the families are there, it is not a proxy. But for lack of a better description, your friend of proxy marriage. Yes. Sɛ wokɔfa marriage certificate na ɛyɛ registry deɛ a blue line bi dem anaa green line bi dem ɛkɔba a wode bɛkyerɛ nea straight away meaning sɛ this is not a genuine marriage certificate because registry deɛ no anaa registrar deɛ no ɛsɛ sɛ ɔbaa no ɛne ɔbarima no you have to be there mo wɔ hɔ filifili gadoshi na mo assign mo portion ɔbaa no bɛsign the section ɔbarima no nso bɛsign the section but sɛ mo nni Ghana hɔ ɛna mo akɔfa summary certificate n'aba a straight away no kyerɛ me sɛ mo anyɛ the right thing. Into the customary marriage registration certificate is totally different from the customary, is different from the ordinance registration certificate. So please, yes, the customary can be done by, for lack of a better word, by proxy, but the ordinance cannot be done by proxy. Thank you. Vivi, can a housekeeper in a hospitality industry get visa sponsorship if the company has license? Yes, of course. If the company has a license, a sponsorship license, and they are able to or willing to issue you the COS because you meet the requirements, of course, you can go ahead and you can work with them if you get the sponsorship license. So that is correct. But the key thing is the sponsorship license that meets or suits your job description. Ubetome Ayejuma. Truth Media. In your previous episodes, you said applying as a stepfather is cancelled on 6 June. Has there been any changes again? Thank you. The definition of a stepfather having a parental responsibility changed. The definition of a stepfather having parental responsibility changed. They have not ruled it out altogether. Yet that's so a year application for step parents. We are still applying for stepfathers. Stepmothers are still being considered in the applications. What we have to do is you must always consider say omuba ebebi said bibi said they want a step parent responsibility, step parent parental responsibility agreement that you must be able to get that and provide it from the court to them. Step parent parental responsibility agreement. Mamensi Subium, step parent parental responsibility agreement. You have to be able to provide that if the Home Office comes to ask for it. But as I speak, even though the definition has changed, applications are still being made on the basis of being a step parent of a child who is 7 years or is a British citizen in the UK. Thank you very much for that question. Hello, Nicholas. How are we going to receive email from the Home Office concerning e-visa since I did not create a Home Office account myself and cannot get in touch with my agent? Now, what you can do is you don't necessarily have to wait for the Home Office to email you. What we are doing is we are proactively going on the system ourselves and we are applying for our clients. So you don't have to wait for the Home Office. You yourself go online and just enter apply for the e visa or register with the UKVA app. You go through the process. Please don't wait for the Home Office. You can do it yourself, please. William Ofosu Ako. Hi, Papa William. Hey, long time. Oh, where have you been? Can you please send me the link to register for my BRP? Please go online. Just go online and you can do that. Just go online and just enter, go to Google and just say you want to apply for e-visa. I'm going online right now. So let's see if you can do e-visa. Yes, so it says e-visa application UK e-visa. So it gets get access to your e-visa, and it is there online application status e-visa.gov or go to gov.uk and enter online application status e-visas. It will pull out the link for you, and then you can continue from there. It's pretty straightforward, so you can do it yourself, my brother Willie. Idrisu, when you move to the UK with a visitor's visa and try to seek for asylum saying you're gay when you are not, will they investigate your sexuality before granting you the asylum? Now, if you claim asylum on any basis at all, you will be interviewed, you'll be screened, you'll be interviewed. They want evidence to prove that what you're saying is true. It's not just any basis of claiming asylum. You have to prove that you are truly engaged in what you say you are in. You need the evidence to support that application. On that basis, you will be able to claim asylum and of course, prove your evidence. Without evidence, it becomes difficult to succeed in an asylum claim. So my advice would be whatever basis on which you want to claim asylum, ensure that you have the evidence to support your claim. Thank you. My BRP, Prince Beidhai, my BRP will expire this year. My father is an Italian. Do I get indefinite leave to remain when I renew? Well, if your father is an Italian, and I am sure he applied for you, your residence card, for 5 years. Once you can prove that you've lived with your father or you've been dependent on him for 5 years, even though the law has changed to understand Once you can prove that yes, you've been in the UK for 5 years, you are able to apply for your indefinite leave to remain in the UK as a family member of an EU national. Thank you. Number 93. If someone is switching COS, do they have to switch with the partner if he has one, please? I would advise that you please switch with your partner. Example. Now, assuming you came with a COS in a job description and you came with your partner. Now, your partner or you, the main applicant, you've switched to another category. Remember that if you don't switch with your partner will be in or based on another provider or another sponsor. Now, what happens if that sponsor's license was revoked by the Home Office? If the sponsor's license was revoked or is revoked, it means your sponsor, your partner, or your dependent has no basis to be in the UK. Or what happens if every code, every tier two skilled worker has different codes. We have 6314, 6315, and different codes or different codes. Now, if assuming that you came in a code of health and care workers, and that is where your spouse or your partner was given the leave to come in, and now you have switched to maybe IT, which is a different code, and your partner remains on this one, that is clearly not consistent with the basis on which the main applicant is. So, my advice is please switch with your main applicant. But the danger is, let me note this, the Home Office these days is beginning to make note that Sawu switch here after 11th of March. And remember, from the 11th of March, I think, wontumi mfa wo ho kamfo ɛnka wo ho. Nti ɔmo say, sɛ wonya new COS after the 11th of March na, wontumi mfa wo ho kamfo and switch it to a new list. Nti ɛhɔ no na danger no wɔ. So we have to be very careful with the switching. Normally, and if the switching was done after 11th of March, there's a danger, sɛ Home Office with me about catch say, because you are switching to a different category, you will not be able to move with your sponsor or with your dependent. That is a developing area. We will let you know as we go along. DJ, I think I'll take one or two more and that'll be it because I need to be in another program. My brother has married EU citizen and the lady filed for him. But the Home Office, I think I've looked at this already, Principal. I think I've treated this already. Can the UK stop using the BRP? What can we use to return to the UK from Ghana? That is why we are having the e-visa. The e-visa means you don't need to hold any physical document. You can go online and you show that you have the right to be in the UK. You'll be able to generate share code for work, share code for travel, I believe, share code to rent, share code to get driver's license, share code for different things. So you don't need to hold a physical document to show that was it lady. Once everything is online, the e-visa, that is electronic, which me approve is who was it now in the UK. You don't have to have you don't have to have a document. Your passport, yes, but not the BRP. You don't need that after you got the e-visa. DJ, thank you. The last one. When the BRP expires, what can we use to return to the UK, especially from Ghana? I learned we will be using only the share code, but maybe Ghana immigration. No. Don't belittle the Ghana Immigration Service. Ghana Immigration will be up to date with everything. In fact, all the immigration sectors will be up to date. We were thinking, say the biometric card, the time that the biometric card came, the Ghana Immigration Service will not be able to come up to date, but they are up to date with everything. So before this system is rolled out fully, all the points of entry, all the countries will be fully aware that the UK is now using the electronic visas, and therefore Ghana Immigration Service will be up to date. I believe they would have been trained as to how to assess this information. Don't you worry at all. Ghana is on top of things. Thank you. DJ, beautiful.
Lawyer, last one. Obi can be or today.
Please, let's help DJ reach 650K by the end of the year. Much love from Richard. I agree with you. I agree with you.
It's everyone, I am on subscribe. Why? Most
Thank you,
videos,
thank
no
you, thank
YouTube,
you,
not
thank
there,
you.
but
I agree,
not
I agree, I
remote
agree.
subscribe. Because by now, content I edit by program I edit by Bananka, Ghana for Sumpa or SBTV Africa. So now I'm tapping on subscribe, follow ya. By now, I say it me do 1 million, but the brain now, meaning say, ebi omu ni mana ye no monye. Nti wa on tap subscribe there no ko YouTube na hwe SVTV Africa interviews no me lawyer we a ye drop another interview kra na interviews in the door so hwe ya follow ya ebeboa wo wo Ghana wo akwantu be bia uti am for stories eboa lawyer me da say also on next interview me da say na unya mre ma yen wo SVTV Africa so mo am hwe wo Facebook ni YouTube nya betimi better contact lawyer dey maka tell me say oyo binfo better contact na Wiseman solicitors betimi a contact no omo phone numbers and a screen so no betimi from fit line any omo mobile number betimi from book appointment ni ade no wa contact omo Orlando lawyer o office address near the location.
Thank you. A wise man solicitors number 18 to 22 Ashwin Street, 8 to 9 the Prince House, London, Dalston, London, E8 3DL. You Ben Dalston Junction, no? In fact, you were Dalston Junction, you Ben Dalston Market, no? You were behind the McDonald's. Uba, you be sure. The telephone numbers. Mobile number near 079 31 411 042. 07931 411 042. And the office number near +44 2080 165 384. 2080 165 384. And at 0208 0165 384 is the same number. DJ,
All right.
it does say.
Lawyer Wisdom Akao.
Essential.
Me da se lawyer mutie no nti ubetimi a contact me say Idris will be say or WhatsApp so ya wabo numbers no WhatsApp mobile no WhatsApp so nti ubetimi a reach out lawyer Wisdom Akao me da se nyame adoma next week e be say share wa ha mo join here no me da mo nyina say mo hwe SVTV Africa the voice of the community they be am the program so be me lawyer start enye ne me ne lawyer aba so ye program on US nti say say unya more details US ono so mene ye hwe English channel na SVTV International English ni go na ye SVTV Africa so YouTube nti na meka jam say na ma subscribe to YouTube but bu wa na obi me explain the subscribe oh baby do the subscribe there I say we follow yen no obi ka subscriber Facebook also follow page follow TikTok follow YouTube there no omo ntro no follow omo say subscribe nti mi aso adoma bi won we mi aso abejo mi da ma say mo hwe mo join here live no yeah the video ba out me wie na just say the new video bi ba in some sisi wo kata one lady asamo abeka mon kwada mo ko YouTube me da ma say mo join here nyina no me da ma say big shout out to mo nyina ba join here Idisu Yakubu me da say ma me nya ko adepa Rains me da say na akushika lamte me da say na nantwi me da say Augustine me da say Thompson for me da say is it Masha Idi me da say Prince Wati me da say na nantwi me da say Prince Bedu me da say William Ufosu is it Akon me da say Nicholas Obed me da say is it Bacha Daniel me da say Truth Media GH big ups Joseph Owusu me da say Vivi me da say Mami me da say and is it a Christ logic Christ logic me da say and Don Aristo, me da say Bridget Asare, me da say Nanado, me da say Theo Jonas, me da say Kobenebo, me da say Lucy Boama, me da say right is Richard Buensi, me da say Mamitina, me da say Bush Doctor, thank you so much. Asna de Ghana, me da say Ghana's, Asna de Ghana's, me da say just say me da say Bashiru, is it Darrison? Bashir Darrison, me da say Chidani Ahmed, me da say George Sack, me da say David Osei, me da say Bismarck, me da say Salome, kwe me da say congrats, wabe ware Ghana, why are there? Big shout out to you, SBTV Africa fan. Me da say, mo mo share nyame da wan say ene enti up next. Mo YouTube the many notifications is here. You sign it out. I won't say papa less than 1 minute. We won't video. Share videos. So I drop videos bare 4, 3. Yeah, the way can have 4. Follow you. But so by me show no subia. My numbers for YouTube. Wait me. Go YouTube page or WhatsApp me. +2332447900902 and I say +2332406778898. My numbers the Facebook or call we so YouTube page and so I will bet me WhatsApp me send me voice note and frame me more frame me check anti Miss Remo. Madam say Charlie, mon take care. Enjoy your weekend with SBTV Africa videos. 2